Wait, let's talk about the State of the Union, okay? Last night, Joe Biden delivered the State of the Union address, and I was pleasantly surprised at how good he did. He was very literate. You could tell he was older, and he did have a couple of coughs in there. But he was charismatic. He drew me into the camera, and he definitely addressed the Republican Party directly, as well as referring to Trump as his predecessor in a very, very shady way, but to emphasize his point. I loved the interactions with the other people. He was telling stories, personal stories about people that were actually in attendance, and I thought it was overkill at first, but then I saw the effectiveness towards the end of the speech. Joe wouldn't sleep that night. Joe wouldn't sleep that night, honey. If I voted, I'd actually vote for that man. I mean, that he gave me the antithesis of what Trump does. Trump is just so loud about his anarchy that we forgot that Joe Biden, yeah, you're doing what you're supposed to do. After that happened, though, the youngest Republican congressional member decided to give her take on the speech that was had live without the technological glitches. First of all, I enjoyed what she had to say, but there were mixed facts. Like, Joe Biden is claiming something that the Republican Party is saying is a flat-out lie. So unless you do independent research, you don't know who's telling you the motherfucking goddamn gay truth. Politics, right? What do you think of the State of the Union address? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to see your take. And matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and call in our mayor pro tem to discuss this. See what she has to say. If she could come in today. Yay, you answered!
Yes.
Hey, boo. Okay, so you know we were texting all up and through the fucking State
Yes.
of the Union address.
Mhm.
I need a political person's opinion. Again, this is Mayor Pro Temp from where?
Moreno Valley.
Moreno Valley, California. And she is going to be our political consultant from now on, okay? Suzanne, you can't get your job back because you in jail because you answered the phone last week. What do you think of the State of the Union
It,
address?
it did exactly what it was intended to do, to prop him up, make him look powerful, make everyone forget about all his mental deficiencies, and to show that he's still in charge. That's what it's designed to do.
It definitely did its job, child. And you know, I am with a master's degree in media studies from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. I was talking to you about the camera edits and how they were editing
Yes.
around his coughs. Like, I don't know if y'all caught that, but every time he would move to cough, the camera would cut to the audience in support of what Joe Biden was saying. I thought that was
Yes.
very, very strategic and phenomenal. The hecklers were planted. They were planted by the Democratic Party to show that Joe Biden can still deal with controversy. I knew that they were actors. They looked like actors. And the girl with the damn MAGA hat on in the front, that was a plant by the Democratic Party, okay? So don't think that she was rah-rah Republicans, because if you look at how it went down, the Republicans didn't make no noise, none of the time. However, on certain issues such as women's health care, you
Uh-huh.
saw some of those Republicans stand up over there on that on the opposite side of the room. What is your opinion about what I'm saying?
So the reason some Republicans are standing when they're talking about reproductive health is because the polling has shown that although you guys didn't want abortion, when we start getting into IVF and things like that, now you're dealing with women, and it actually works against the Republicans. So they're having to pick a side.
Okay.
Um,
It was visibly shown, and that's a
yeah,
bold move, right? To sit up in that room and stand up to the opposing party's viewpoint in front of your peers. Is that a statement that they're trying to make?
that's a statement that they're trying to make, that they are in support of reproductive health rights and that they do need to support women's rights. But again, when it comes down to it and when Trump starts talking, they're all going to line up. So the lady in the crazy MAGA hat,
Yeah,
though, that is Marjorie Perjury Green out of Georgia, and that woman's she's just batshit crazy. She's just
got it,
crazy. Yeah.
got it.
So that's her all the time. Like she's just crazy.
Now, can we talk about Kamala and the A1 cheerleading that she was doing? She couldn't even get adjusted in her seat before she started standing up. And I'm gonna tell you something. Her hair is silk pressed to the gods, okay? And
Yeah.
I don't know if she got some pieces in that hair or what, but she's every 5 seconds she's giving that DD4L clap, honey. Every five
She's
seconds she
got
was
to show
standing up.
support. She has to show support. That's her president. If she's bored with him, what the rest of us are going to be like.
That's true. So she definitely played her position. And I'm talking about, she gave that AKA clap, bitch. She was not playing. Who was sitting next to her, though? Who was that
That
man?
is Mike Johnson, who is the Speaker of the House. And so he's a Republican, and the Republicans have the power right now in the House. So he's the one that they've chosen to be the speaker. So that's why he looked annoyed. He looked irritated.
Yeah, and
Um,
I was like, we're getting two different
yes.
sides in front of us. We're getting her stand up in support, and we're getting him. Well, he did stand up one time. One
Yeah.
time he did stand up and clap and stuff. So, it's interesting. Joe Biden has a charisma about him that I think we forgot.
People forget that. So if you go back a few years ago when Donald Trump was in office and we had Speaker Pelosi up there, Pelosi was rolling her eyes every time Trump would lie. She would rip up.
Hmm.
She ripped up his script. So that scene in particular does have a purpose. If you're not in support of them and you're not in charge, you gonna give them all the shades you can up there because she had the petty clap and everything.
The petty clap was petty clapping, honey, and it's no shame. I enjoyed it, and it's interesting because we've talked about politics for the 4 years that I've been, you've been
Huh?
a client of mine and things, but I'm more drawn to politics right now than I am pop culture. Is that weird? Am I growing up? Like, what's going on with me?
You might be a little bit of growing up and you might be a little of pop culture is pop culture. But I think because politics is so interesting right now, one, we had extremely low voter turnout in a lot of
Hmm.
places. And two, no one's excited about these people. But you kind of want to tune in to be like, what the hell is really
What
going
the
on?
hell is gonna go on? Like, I really need fresh blood. I want fresh blood. I just want all
We all
new
do.
everything. Like, just everybody can go. Last thing I'll say,
Uh-huh.
Maxine was up there with her long face. You seen Maxine?
Now, yes, Auntie Maxine been in the game for a while.
Auntie
I
Maxine
know.
was in her.
I know, but she holding tight, she holding steady.
Kalanji. We saw Kalanji as well. That court justice, I guess that's who she is.
Oh,
Katanji.
Katanji Brown, yes.
Yeah, she was out there too,
So,
and she is so poised. She said, "Hello, Mr. President." She took her picture and then she moved her sister lock to the back of her ear and said, "I
yes.
got work to do." I
So if
said,
you ever
"Bitch,
look
yes."
at the front row, I was really excited to see that front row. One, the front row was awake. In previous years,
They
because they
was
were so
up.
old, they would go to sleep. So those are all the Supreme Court justices sitting in that front row, and they're there in attendance. So it's a good thing. It's a show. You know what you should do for the next State of the Union. Your congressperson can technically invite you to go, and you can be in the audience as their rep.
Baby,
Yeah.
it's what will I wear? That's the biggest question. But I'm gonna be dramatic as hell, right? Like,
Yes.
if I go to anything politics, I'm going to be so unconventionally fashionable that it's gonna make them upset. I'm talking about high collars. I'm talking about big blouses, bitch. Like, they're gonna be like, who is this? He's an advocate.
Yes, you can go. Your congressional person can invite you to go.
And I got the clout to make that happen.
Yes.
When is the next State of the Union? They do this every year.
Yes, they typically will do it every year. Yes. This one
I'm
happened a
in,
little later. They typically happen in January. This one they held out till March.
I'm intrigued.
Yes.
Thank you again, Mayor
Yes.
Pro Tem Shay Bernard, for joining us today and giving us your commentary on the State of the Union address. I think my audience loves you. Go ahead and give her some mayoral emojis in the comment section, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Later, baby.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Bootz, and I reside here in Greensboro, North Carolina.